I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, I'm delighted to introduce you to a delightful book. It is called Tiger Cartoons by William W. Fortenbaugh, PhD. He is a distinguished professor emeritus at Rutgers University, but he was inspired apparently from his own mascot at his alma mater, a tiger, years ago, and he's been drawing tigers ever since. At least that's the word on the street. We'll find out more from him. Bill, thanks so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Good, thank you.
These are quite a great collection of cartoons you have drawn here for this book. Tell us a little bit about the etymology, if you will, to use a good scholarly word.
The etymology of cartoon
No,
or
of tiger cartoons.
tiger cartoons? Well, look, it's quite simple. I went to Princeton University, started freshman year there. I was already into my, beginning of senior year when I met a lady named Connie Dye.
Mhm.
And in those days, you invited girls up to campus and you had to find something to do. It was a whole different world. Princeton was still in loco parentis, as people like to say. So we found something to do together. Connie sat beside me and I drew cartoons. She did other things too, but we don't have to go there. But in any event, I was there last year at Princeton when Connie came up and started cartoons, and I put them away for the longest time. Then I got interested in doing cartoons for Christmas cards, and I began cartooning often. And it all fell together at my 65th college reunion. I said, hey, I'm coming up to 65 years. I ought to collect all my tiger cartoons and make a book. And that's what I did. And
Wonderful.
yeah, it's just that simple.
Yep. Now, has your background in classics and your academic work influenced the narrative style and the content of your book, Tiger Cartoons?
Oh, I'd like to say yes, but it's really my own personality coming out in all of this. I hope in academic articles I suppress all of that. One tries to anyway. And it's meant to be funny, all
Yeah,
these cartoon figures. I like laughing.
exactly. There's a time to be serious. There's a time to laugh. There's a time and
Yeah,
a season for everything, no doubt.
yeah, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the book, what readers will find when they open up the pages. Is there a particular part that you're particularly proud of?
Well, see, yes, there are parts of it, but I like the beginning. I have to ask you a question,
Mhm.
even though we're recording, and that is, can we show some pages from the book?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because my good wife is beside me and she's holding the book, and I'll ask her at some point to show this and that, and
Sure.
maybe she can. And just, Connie, just put it right in front of the screen. I want her to see this.
There we
This is.
go.
Can you see
Where
it?
it all started once we were young. And
Yeah.
then something written in Latin that I don't know.
Old,
Olim upenes Erasmus.
once we were young. That's all that means. But the question
Okay,
is whether you can see the cartoon.
I can. I mean, I see the writing right now. If you hold it up a little higher, I can see the cartoon itself. There we go. Yep, and
Well,
the PU Jim and the pure tigress and the youth
yeah,
and the name of the book is Youth and that might
foolish.
change it. Foolish.
Youth wasn't foolish, but I was. My goodness. Well, I was most excited to have my future wife, not knowing that that's what she was, come up and sit with me at Princeton. And so the boy is reading a book. He's got a beer mug in one hand with 58 on it, if you can see that.
Yep.
That's my class, 1958, spirit spilling beer. And young and foolish is straightforward. I was young and I was foolish. And too much time in the gymnasium shrinks the mind. See that PU gym shirt on there?
Yes.
I was a Princeton wrestler, very keen about wrestling. And
Gotcha.
so it seemed like a good idea to have a PU gym shirt on.
Exactly.
Now the athletic director at Princeton in my day coined the phrase education through athletics. Wonderful, wonderful. Education through athletics. But he really has to be honest. Well, come on now. There are plenty of counter examples of who got their minds shrunk by athletics. And well, anyway, and the cartoon shows a mindless young man who's meant to be me spilling beer rather than drinking it. So
Yeah,
all of that I find absurd, and that's the whole point. Something to be absurd. Yeah,
wonderful.
while you're there at Princeton, and he's got a fig leaf on. I hope you notice.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. And so that cartoon, the first one we see there, where it all started, that dates back to 1958 or so.
Yeah, 1957, I suppose.
Yeah, amazing.
The fall year, and then the 58. And I remember graduating. Like all undergraduates in those days, if you remembered anything from graduation, you're lucky. But
Yeah.
I did graduate.
That's great. Well, it's great you held on to those cartoons all those years.
Yeah.
That's for sure. They're a connection to the past and a connection to the woman who would become your wife and your assistant today and holding up the book, which is great as well.
I want her to show herself to the world on this. You got it? Okay, hold it up so the people can see it. They don't need to hear I got to hear my voice, I guess. But she's holding up a beer mug, pouring beer on her head.
Yeah,
She's got a balloon, which I think of as myself, with a sort of silly grin on his face.
yeah,
And she's got the motto of Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts, behind her, Ut vitam habeant, that they may have like abundante, abundantly. So you read there, Ecce puella tigridis, behold a girl tiger.
hmm
Yeah,
And she's pouring a beer on her head that says "Hate Yale,"
yes, yes, yes,
which I imagine is a rival of Princeton.
it certainly is.
Yeah, that's
Certainly is.
great.
And when you think about it, it's wonderful that Princeton has a real animal as a mascot, a tiger, where
hmm
Yale has a bulldog. And if those two met on the field of honor, I'm sure the tiger would win.
My money is on the Tiger for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
My-
Yep.
That's great. That's great.
Now we can show you another cartoon if I get to the next one, Connie. It's called Notus and Caudas ad non in comitate, a knot in the tail, but not in the happy relationship. And does that come out on your
That looks
screen?
great. Somebody's got a very devilish grin
That's
on that
me.
face.
That's
Yeah.
me. And I got a knot in her tail so she can't get away. And she's
Gotcha.
sitting on a very important item. It's extra dry.
Gotcha.
That's Rheingold beer,
Gotcha.
that was his slogan, extra dry.
Yep.
And so, anyway,
If you hold that up a little more, Connie, we can see more of the picture. There we go. We see the knot in the tail there. And if you slide it to the end of the frame and cover your husband's face for just a second, we can see you. And there we go. Get a little more of the picture. And I see Bill is wearing a t-shirt that says BHYC, which is, I'm assuming, some sort of yacht club back in the day. Might
that's
still be
right,
a yacht club.
Bayhead Yacht Club. We met in Bayhead,
Gotcha.
um, and it was a very fruitful place to be. Connie's quite a good sailor, and I
Great.
was sailing since I was 8, racing my own boat from 8 years on.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And yep, yep,
It's
yep.
great how you've documented your lives with these cartoons. And here we are today, however many years later, 50 years later or so, and you still enjoying the artwork and the fun you had in creating these. Yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Well, I want to show you another one of my cartoons.
Yep.
Next one, I guess it is. Yep, that's it. This is Miss Rheingold of 1958. You've got to get it up there.
Okay.
Get it. Miss Rheingold of 1958.
That's
And
great.
And down below, I don't suppose you can read it, but the Rheingold song was extremely popular. My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. Think of Rheingold whenever you buy a beer.
Yeah.
The
Something
song
Rheingold
that
and do today. Yep.
it's not bitter, not sweet. It's a dry flavored treat. Won't you try extra dry Rheingold beer? It's a German waltz, the music.
Oh, okay.
And that's why, and it became quite famous. It was one of the most popular beers out. But then, as so often, the company was run poorly, and oh dear.
Yep.
And in the next to on Miss Rheingold's side, there's a sign stuck in the grass. It says "Bubbles danced here."
Yes. Who was Bubbles?
Well, this is of course a very sad story, but it's all about undergraduate life. Bubbles came to Princeton on house parties weekend and danced. And I probably shouldn't go on, but
I get the idea. That
Princeton
sounds
was an
good.
all-male institution in those days, so it was very nice to have Bubbles dance.
It was a different era, but that's for
Well,
sure.
so there was, and we were in loco parentis, and as a result, some of us didn't graduate on time. I'm not one of those us's. I did graduate on time, but nonetheless,
Yep.
everybody graduated, but it took an extra year for some of them.
Exactly. I see a little comment there that Miss Rheingold is as pure as a driven snow.
Yeah, you got it.
That's great.
All right, now let's go to page 11, Connie, when you can do that. There it is. Get it up. Get it up. Good, 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 good. Can you
Connie's
get
getting
that
her
up?
workout today, lifting up
Yeah,
the book.
well, it's in any event, this is what this is called a growing family. It's the third or fourth cartoon in this book.
Very nice.
And it showed us married now 5 years with two children.
Gotcha.
And they
If you
all
pull
look,
it away from the screen, Connie, we'll be able to see the image a little bit better. Yeah, and lift it a little higher.
yeah.
There we go. We see the happy family, arms around each other's waists, and the two little children on each side.
Now look at the little boy on the right down there. The
If
boy,
if you raise it a little higher, Connie, we can see the little boy. Raise it a little higher.
yeah.
Yep, I see him. He's got a devilish look on his face like
You got
dad.
it. You got it.
Yeah.
He's
And
plotting
the
trick.
little girl's got a sweet little angelic face like mom and Connie there. Yep.
Good, good.
Your cartooning is very, very clear, very, very good.
Men on one side, women on the other. Ah,
Exactly.
he's meant to be plotting tricks beyond his years, and that's
Well, we can
exactly
see
what
that by his devilish grin. Dad's looking down admiringly at him, and he looks like the little devil there.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I also like your rep necktie that you have on for the
Oh,
occasion. It looks like it's a direct issue from Princeton. Wonderful.
wonderful. Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, let's move on, and let's go to 5 years out of Princeton. I'm going to show you. Connie's going to show you a growing family. Is that 5 years out?
15.
15. Well, we go 15 years out with the devil. I got it at 5:15. We can show them there.
15 or 5?
Five. Put 5 on. That's all right. Do either one. Doesn't matter. Here. Oh,
And
wait,
this
5.
is
That's where we were.
That's where we were, a growing family 5 years later, and that's with the two little children and the little boy with the devilish look on his face and the little girl with the angelic look on her face. So I guess we go to 15 years now.
Yeah, let's go to 15. Let's go to 15. 5 years. Decade on those 15. It's page 15. It's page 15. There we go.
There we go, 15 years, and boy, the family has really blossomed. The little boy still has a devilish grin on his face. Your daughter, oh, looks like another baby has been added.
Yes, yes.
3 children now.
3 children.
Your oldest son has a necktie on like dad. Is that what it is, or are the kids all behind you? I guess that's
Kids are
wife
behind
in the
Connie. And the
foreground,
kids
right?
are all standing. Yeah, Connie and I are old enough now to sit down all the time.
Gotcha, gotcha. And you're surrounded by the kids. That's
Yeah.
great. Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
15 years. It's amazing how the family can grow. And I love the fact that both sons and dad have a very, very devilish grin on their face. And in this, 15 years later, Connie and your daughter look a little maybe peeved or something. I don't know. I don't want to put thoughts in her head or words in your mouths, but maybe the boys have been acting a little too, a little too crazy lately.
All right, now let's go to page 23 because this will show you some creativity in the because it's not all about families growing up. There's a lot of funny things going.
Well, that's
This
pretty
is
awesome and pretty creative.
35th. 30, keep going. There you go. There you go. There you go. This is our 35th anniversary picture.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And Connie's saying he's dreaming or is he haunted? And that's a lead into the future. I've got Connie's got circling her leg, a ghost who's saying boo. And that's because I had been made actually, and it's what's called an ACAT, a 28-foot boat with a big sail.
Mm-hmm.
And it was made to be raced on Barnegat Bay at the
Wow.
Bay Head Yacht Club. And we had a great success with it. But the point is, of course, that I've got this ghost circling Connie's leg, and it's
Mm-hmm.
saying boo. And somebody in the window, one of our children, is saying he's playing ghost. And I thought that was funny at the time,
Very,
whether it is or not.
very cute. And all the little captions of people looking out the window.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, Mike,
Mike, there's
there's
a
a
ghost
ghost
out.
outside.
Yeah, that's great. Wonderful.
Well, sort of anyway. Not bad, not bad.
I like it. I like it a
All
lot.
right.
It's
Now
very, very
let's jump
cute.
way ahead. I want to introduce you to my son, who's hosting us for Christmas dinner of all things.
Well, that sounds great.
But on page 49, is that what you got there? It says Commodore Mike.
Yep.
Michael went to Princeton, and what did he do when he got out? He started a business called a yacht club, and he's been doing that ever since. But I did this cartoon to tease him.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a Commodore's outfit, if you will. It has Manhattan Yacht Club. That's the name of the yacht club. And
Wonderful.
there he is firing a cannon. And one reads below, he enjoys firing a cannon, whether starting a race or just having fun.
Wonderful. Connie, if you move the photo over a little bit more, we'll be able to see a little bit more.
I can move the
There we
screen
go.
even easier.
There
But
we go.
he's got the cannon firing, and yeah, and he's got a
Okay.
big grin on his face.
And we see him with the NYC
Yeah.
Yacht Club jacket on as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's a
Okay.
wonderful
Excellent.
thing. If you found the yacht club, you automatically become Commodore, and
Well,
then
that's
you can
wonderful.
fire a cannon.
Exactly. That's great.
There. So, all right. Well, let's go to California family. There's a section in this book of
Is
the
Mike
family.
still on the East Coast?
Oh yes, yes.
Okay.
He's still on the East Coast. He's still got a yacht club in Jersey City.
Okay, great.
They threw him off the docks in New York City. The governor wanted bigger, more expensive items on the docks, so he had to move across to Jersey City.
I'll take that as a badge of honor.
Yeah,
What page are you on?
we should be on page 51. Well, don't worry if you can't. I could hold this up to move things along.
You're doing great. These are very, very entertaining, these cartoons. Yeah.
That's all right. We can just fine. Well, now she's got our children who live in California
Okay.
and Menland. One of them is going to Menlo School. She's holding up a sign.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Michael's wife, Betty. She's got a topiary. What? Peter's wife. Yeah, I'm getting them all mixed up. Well, I'm excited. I am.
Yeah.
And so there's a guy over there, and one of the kids in the corner. That's Sam, the younger one. And
I see one with a t-shirt that says Spider
Yeah,
I see one with a weight in his hand and it says Boilermaker. And I see looks like Dad in the middle with
yeah,
B&G Cafe in the on his.
yeah.
Yep.
Boys and Girls Club. That's what he did. That's what
Ah,
he did. He ran
gotcha.
the Boys and Girls Club of the peninsula, and
Gotcha.
turned it all the way around. I mean, it was about to go out of business. He had gone to Harvard Business School and learned how to make money. And after he made enough money, he said, "I'm getting out of here and do something useful." So he joined the Boys and Girls Club
Great.
of as their financial officer and
Wonderful, wonderful.
turned them around.
You know, there's something very Dr. Seuss looking about these cartoons as well, which is kind of neat because they're kind of anamorphic. They're tigers, but of course they're people, and
Yeah,
it's very,
yeah,
very,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's an interesting thing. If you try and do cartoons with tigers, but tell human stories, you have one very obvious problem. And it might come to you when you realize all these tigers are face on.
Oh, right,
If you do a tiger from the side, it has a very large snout,
right,
and it
right.
can't smile. It can grin with its show you the teeth it's going to eat you with. But all of these guys are smiling, and I'd
Right.
love to, but there's no way you can do it.
Yeah.
But all your cartoons have to be straight on.
Very cool. Very cool. I think you borrowed a little bit from Tony the Tiger there too. I see a couple of influences in your art.
Yeah, yeah. Now let's go to a colored one, Connie. Can we get to page 75? It's way along, but not all the cartoons are black and white, and some of them are colored in. And well, how we can do that one?
No, that's not good. We don't want to talk about that.
Why? Well, it doesn't make any difference. This was a section in this book on Princeton reunions,
Hmm.
which which makes fun. What do you got? The 35th reunion? Look alike, look alike. Yeah. Well, look, I'll hold this one up, Connie, to save a little time here. Um, when you go to your 25th Princeton reunion, each class selects a jacket
Hmm.
to wear for the rest of their time.
25th.
25th, whatever I said, it's the 25th.
25th.
Yeah, sorry, the 25th. And our class divided in half. We had a terrible furor. Some of the people wanted a dignified jacket that they could wear to their country club. I guess they were the people who made a lot of money. Others, like me, who like a good time,
Hmm.
decided we wanted to do something fun.
Right.
And we solved the fuss that was going on in the class by deciding to take the class 25 years in front of us, whatever their jacket was, we'd take it. Well, the fun lovers won the day. Have you got it there? No, I'll put it up.
Okay.
Is that up there?
I like stripes. I see the thought bubble.
Yeah,
I'll raise it a little higher so we can see the jacket would be great.
yeah.
I only see the head of the tiger. Keep going a little higher.
All right.
Maybe bring it back away from the camera a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
there
we
you
did.
go. And
There you
raise it a
go.
little higher. Oh, that's
Yeah,
great. I love
that's
that.
that was the class treasurer at the time. His name is Hugh Fairman. And Hugh Fairman
It's
decided
decisive.
that he liked stripes, and that is the jacket of the
That's
class of 1933. We took
that's
their jacket,
wonderful. That's wonderful.
and it
That's
was very
they call that the Bengal jacket.
yeah, something like that.
I like that. Now, do you still have the jacket by any chance?
Oh yes, yes.
Okay.
And let me tell you what it's good for. So these people who said it wasn't good for anything because you couldn't wear it to your country club, I just sat around and said, I know what I'm going to do with it this year. I put it on for Halloween. Orange and black are the colors of Halloween.
Exactly. Exactly. That's
And I sat
perfect.
on my front doorstep and I had a hat on with a P. And somebody yelled at me and say, "That's Princeton." I said, "No, it isn't. It stands for pumpkin." I'd carved a pumpkin, an orange pumpkin, to go with my jacket.
Amazing. Yeah, I love it. That's great. That's a great jacket. So much better than if it was a navy blazer with some kind of crest on the
Yes.
pocket, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
like things that are anti-country club myself. So I'm all for the Bengal stripes. Beautiful. Very, very nice.
Well, let me show you then. I'll hold this. Probably I've got.
Oh,
This
there
is
you go. You got a couple of people in the jacket.
that's our 65th reunion.
You broke
So
out the jackets for your 65th reunion.
yeah, we just had it,
Oh, that's great.
and we got this cheer down there. We're feeling fine. We're doing great. We're the class of '58.
That's good. That's a great mantra. That's
Yeah,
excellent. So you just recently drew this picture then at
yeah.
the
This one's new. Oh yes,
Okay,
no, no,
good.
no.
Well,
I've
that's
been
great.
drawing.
I'm glad that everything's updated. So you've got from 1957 or so all the way up into the 20s.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's
You
amazing.
got
That's great.
it. Oh no, we're having. Let me take you. Let me take you to one thing from reunions that I really am very proud of. It's not colored at all, but it's the old guard. Other universities have what they call the old guard,
Yes. Yep.
and I think they're a pretentious group of people. You
Sure.
have to live within 20 miles of Princeton and show up on weekends for luncheons.
Wow.
Well, I decided to make fun of them. So I drew a cartoon of one of the old guard who looks like a sourpuss, and I think they probably all are.
Yeah.
So,
That's great. And at the bottom it says, but not this guy.
not this guy.
He doesn't like stripes, I'd imagine.
Oh, oh no.
Awesome.
All
That's a
right.
great collection. And I know obviously you've got other pictures between these pictures. These are just the highlights. So very, very nice.
Well, I did. I'll do just two more.
Sure.
Um, since well, whatever you allow me to do. But in any event, let me rest. I think I had said earlier, wrestling was my sport,
Yep.
and in my sophomore year, we won the won the what do you say, Ivy League championship.
Gotcha.
So I did this picture for the whole team. And
Yep.
everybody got their picture. I happened to preserve mine, so I was able
Right.
to slip it in here. This was done not this year, but soon after this victory. But
Right.
what I want to show you is the next picture. There we are. There we are. This really is a piece of work.
That's
It's
great.
Can you see it? This is a
Yeah.
Cornell boy in the showers. You can see on the one
Oh, yeah.
picture. Yeah.
Art
Well,
called out his
Art
opponent.
Tennant went out to wrestle this Cornell guy,
Gotcha.
and he couldn't hold him down.
He was
And I've
oiled.
never seen he got oiled. The referee sent the Cornell team to the showers not once but twice.
Amazing. Amazing. Well,
And
now it's
so
documented. That's terrific. That's
oh,
terrific.
dear me. Well, it's all fun and
Well,
games.
well, it's great. You've got all those happy years documented in a very, very creative and fun way. The name of the book is Tiger Cartoons. It is written
Yeah,
by William W. Fortenbaugh,
right.
PhD. He's a distinguished professor emeritus at Rutgers University. He married his college girlfriend, Connie, who
Yeah.
got him started on the road to cartooning. And it's been a lifelong habit, one we all enjoy and one you can enjoy too. The links for the book are below this interview. It's a lovely book, lots of great time capsule type of stuff within the pages of this book. So give it a click, order the book. It's a great holiday gift for sure. Bill, before we leave you today, anything you want to add?
No, I mean, I just could go on showing pictures, but you got the message on the whole.
Yeah, we're running out of time, but I truly enjoyed talking to you. Connie, look into the camera here. Say goodbye to the audience as well. You did all the work today. You did the heavy lifting, as they say, right?
You kept me in order. What do you mean?
Exactly, exactly. Well, I want to wish you both a very Merry Christmas and a great 2024. I think it's going to be a good year for the Fortenbaugh family.
I hope
And
so.
thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having us. Wonderful.
I appreciate it. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time.